We are live. No, not a new night. No, not a new location. Yes, quite possibly a new time just because we can. Just because we can. And we want to get off the air before the NBA finals start tonight. So, therefore, this will be the NFL, wow, NBA preview show. We're down to two, right? We're down to two teams. So, we're going to definitely figure out who's going to win and why and how and where and when, the five W's, as they say. But before we get ahead, yes, there are two NBA teams left. I want to bring on my two brothers onto the screen. Jeff Fleck, Boston Celtics fan. Just want to throw it out there. I'm not sure why he's not repping the colors, but I'm pretty sure he's ashamed that his team might lose to Dallas in 5. But we'll discuss that as the show goes on. Fleck, what's going on?
What's up? What's up? I'm not wearing green because I came straight from work to here. So it's like,
yeah. So you work in a Biggie shirt? That's what you telling the public?
It was in my van, yes.
But not the Celtics colors or a Celtics jersey on your bed, but Biggie Big A.
My van.
I'm just saying, me personally, I go to sleep in New York attire. I wake up in New York attire. Again, that's just me. Every fan does his own thing. Understand?
Maybe I'll do a wardrobe change midway. We'll see what happens.
It's all good. It's all good in the hood. Speaking of the hood, out in New Orleans, JB, what is going on?
What?
How awesome! It was a perfect segue. How
the hood?
Right, New Orleans.
I guess
New Orleans is the hood. I don't care.
New Orleans is
like
ghetto.
The most decorated hood in the history of hoods.
Yeah,
that is.
I love the hood, but it really is.
New Orleans is pretty ghetto, so it is what it is. You're right.
I've been there several times, and I'll be there several times more. And it is on the top of the list of the ghettos that I will enjoy. Just want to throw it out. I'm not saying it's a bad ghetto. I'm saying it's just ghetto. It's a difference. It's good ghetto.
It is a bit of Gotham City down here.
Bourbon Street smells like piss. Just want to throw that out there.
It is the all you can pee street.
Just want to throw that out there. The Pelicans might be dealing with some people. Well, we'll get to that as we discuss some NBA news. For some reason, they want to get rid of Brandon Ingram like bad. But we'll get to that. The focus right now is on the NBA Finals. Two teams, the Boston Celtics, are hosting. They have home field advantage against Dallas Mavericks. Before we get to who wins, how, and how much, and by how much, some of the legacy here is really comes down to 2 versus 2, right? Tatum, Brown versus Kyrie and Luka. Isn't that the storyline going in?
Hey, go ahead, Jeff. I'll let you get first dibs at this.
He don't want to answer anything Kyrie still.
Yeah, he still wants to talk about Kyrie.
He has no choice but to answer, but he don't want to.
That is a media narrative by YouTube. I have nothing against it. I don't like the way he left Boston, but I have nothing against it.
Well, we're talking about legacies. We're talking about legacies as far as who cements their legacy this series, who falls short, and I'm going to add a little caveat to that. Is this a failure for Boston if they don't close this out? Again, we're talking
we talking to me? Oh, I thought we were talking to the Boston fan, but
no, we'll get to him. We'll get to him.
Okay, all right. I'll jump in. The legacy, and right now what everybody wants us to look at and what the media wants us to look at is Kyrie Irving versus the Boston Celtics for the reason that Fleck just said, the way he left Boston, and I've seen it all week long. Since Kyrie has left Boston, he is 0-12 against the Celtics. So he's got his thing where, or he's 0-12 since he stepped on what's the mascot, Lucky? Fleck?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's 0-12 since he stepped on the mascot. We'll let continue. I don't know. I'm calling something completely different, but we'll get to that later. It is gonna come down to Luka and Kyrie against Brown and Tatum, but you got to throw Drew Holiday in there because Drew Holiday will be spending the bulk of the time on Kyrie Irving. I don't think it's gonna be Jaylen Brown on him. I think it will be Drew Holiday on Kyrie Irving.
See, that's the thing about the Celtics, though. They can switch 1 through 5. So one possession it might be Drew Holiday. Next possession it might be Porzingis. Like they can switch 1 through 5. I think Brown and not Brown. White and Holiday are going to do the bulk of the Kyrie guard. Because you're going to see a lot of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum switching on and off of Luka, which I'm okay with this here. I think I could probably say that Dallas has they definitely have the top player in the series, and they might have the second best. But Boston got the next 5 or 6. So I think it's going to be a team game for Boston. I think they're going to pull this one out.
So you don't think that Dallas has anybody else that can, because they got a Derrick Jones. He has been playing above his status in the NBA playoffs.
Okay, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm telling you why I said what I said. I think Luka and Kyrie maybe in 1 and 2. You got Brown, Tatum, Holiday, White, Porzingis, Horford. I don't even throw Horford in there. That's the who on Dallas outside of Kyrie and Luka would you put above that 6?
You can throw a Derek Lively in there. The way he's been playing, I mean, he is on the come up. So you can throw him in there. That's not to say he'll go above him, but he has that potential to jump in there.
Tight game, he's a liability because he can't hit free throws.
So, you're right. Yeah.
Anything to worry about when it comes to the Boston Celtics?
Health. How healthy is Porzingis?
They did just fine without him.
Yeah, but they haven't played a team with any size that's a threat inside.
Everyone was hurt. Everyone they came up against was hurt. And
none of the players that were hurt. No, hold up. None of the players that were hurt were big men either.
No, you didn't let me finish. I wasn't saying that they hurt anybody, and that's
Jared Allen was hurt. Jared Allen was hurt for Cleveland.
Jared Allen was hurt, but I wasn't. I know we had the conversation where they had the easier role because everybody they came against the superstar on the team was hurt. That wasn't what I was getting at. I was just saying that the people the teams that they were playing were beat up. Dallas is coming in, and Dallas is gonna be healthier, so it will be a tougher road for Boston than they've seen these playoffs. That's not to say that Boston won't be able to beat the Dallas Mavericks. That's just saying that this series they'll be more evenly matched health wise than they were with the rest of the series. That's all I'm saying.
They haven't had Porzingis the majority of the playoffs either. But
they haven't needed him though.
Okay, so it's their fault that the other team's player Butler got hurt the series before. Only missed 2 games.
We know it's not Boston's fault that the other team gets hurt. We're not saying that. I will ask this question though: does Porzingis play 30+ minutes, or do you ease him back into the game?
I don't think he plays 30+ minutes tonight. 20, maybe 20, 25. Like I think, like you said, they'll try to ease it back. Now, if it turns out that they need his rim protection, then he may end up playing. But I don't think he's gonna be counted on to provide on the offensive end, and whatever he gives them on the offensive end is a bonus tonight.
I would like to see them ease him back in and go with the game plan that they've been using for all of these playoffs because they have not needed him. So and I hate when coaches do this when a player is out and they come back, they immediately try to force them back in the game instead of going with what they had. Now, if you were losing, then that's one thing. But if you were winning without this player, you don't need to force him back in the game and throw off the rhythm that you've already established with this team when this team was winning. So I would like to see them ease him back in and go with the formula that they've had where they've been winning. And if for some reason that formula isn't working, then you increase in do more with him. But if you're still winning, kind of ease him back in there because he is still coming off of that injury.
They were able to withstand him being out. They had the luxury of, him being out in the earlier series because, like I said, they haven't played a team that was a threat, had a big man that was a threat on the inside. You know what I mean? So now they do. You know what I'm saying? You mentioned Lively. They got the other guy too, Gafford. Those guys are lob specialists.
Powell,
Yeah.
Powell still, right?
Huh?
They got Powell still.
Yeah, they have Powell too.
Yeah, so they got a bunch of big men. I'll meet you guys in the middle. Coaching, we've seen down the line. Coaching is kind of been pertinent to the road of getting there. Not necessarily for Boston and not necessarily for Dallas. We're talking about other teams who didn't step up coaching wise. If Doug Carlisle didn't make those mistakes coaching with Indiana, that series should have been prolonged. Mike Malone with Denver, he made some coaching mistakes towards the end. My question to you guys is, which coach has the most pressure and which coach would think would make a mistake, Mazzulla or Jason Kidd?
Mazzulla has the most pressure. Jason Kidd may make the biggest mistake, or he may make the mistake first. But Mazzulla definitely has the most pressure. It's been coming down to the wire with Mazzulla with a couple of these games, and we've joked about it and saying that the Boston Celtics, for whatever reason, couldn't win a game 2. I don't know what happens with that, but I think Mazzulla has the most pressure on him right now. Now, that's not to say that it won't change over the course of the NBA Finals, but for right now, for Game 1, is Mazzulla.
What you mentioned before I get to you, Fleck, you mentioned Jason Kidd making the first mistake. What mistake do you think he will make? And it could be anything. It could be leaving guys in too long, foul trouble, defensive matchups.
It could be getting into that two on two game. He can prolong and let them do that 2-on-2 game instead of going to the rest of the team. He can go in there and be like, okay, this is Luka and Kyrie. Y'all go lead the way, and we go get everybody else in when they can, instead of going to a team game. Like Flex said, the Boston Celtics, they can play 1 through 5, and they can have that team game, and the Mavericks will come in there and have that two-headed monster and forget about everybody else. So it could be something as simple as that.
All right, we're trying to break down, for those of you just joining, we're trying to break down the NBA Finals that starts tonight in Boston. Again, we are the All Sports Matters podcast. This is our new night. Remember, we've been going back to Thursdays. Fleck, we're right now breaking down the coaching matchup between Mazzulla and Jason Kidd. Who do you think has the most pressure coaching-wise?
I agree with you, Mazzulla, obviously, because Boston as a whole has the most pressure. I think that's going to be the one thing that's going to scare me about Boston, because Dallas is able to go out there and pretty much play with the house's money. You know what I'm saying? Nobody expected them to be there. They're going to just play loose because, like I said, nobody expected them to be there. Game 1, everybody's saying this is Boston's season to win or lose. You know what I'm saying? The championship. If they don't get it done, I mean, yeah, Mazzulla. I agree. Mazzulla's under the most pressure right now to win because Boston as a whole is under pressure.
All right, pressure. We're talking about pressure here. Who's under the most pressure player-wise?
Kyrie.
You really think it's Kyrie? Kyrie is
Tatum. I mean,
Kyrie is kind of, and I'll answer this before I bring it back to you guys. Kyrie is kind of delegated. You know, he's been behind the scenes. He hasn't been ball hogging, and that's kind of hard to do with Luka Doncic being the ball hog of that team anyway.
Right.
It's a different style of play for Kyrie, where he was the front man in Boston, where here he's more of the off guard slash guard, small forward, shooting guard type of play. With that being said, Kyrie is your answer, JB. Flex, what do you think is the thing? I'm going right back to you. I'm going right back to you, JB. Do you agree that Kyrie is the most pressure on as a player? Yes, sir.
No. I think it's Tatum. You know what I'm saying? But however unfairly, he has to win. He has to win, and he has to play Finals MVP level basketball. Because the narrative right now is that he's not assertive enough, or he's not whatever this or that. He has to come out and show that he's the face of the franchise and can be one of the faces of the NBA. And this is the series that he has to do that.
So the reason I had you pause there, because that completely backfired. I was hoping he would have spoke up about Kyrie. So that's why I was trying to get you to pause and him to step up and get into the Kyrie conversation. But that did not work out.
Why do y'all want me to bag on?
We just want you to acknowledge Kyrie. Now, I knew he was going to say
he's a great player.
I knew he was going to say Tatum, because the pressure is on Tatum. Don't get me wrong. Pressure's on Tatum to make things happen, because he's been the face of the franchise for years, and 1A, 1B and stuff like that. But I say Kyrie because of the aforementioned way he left Boston.
That was so long ago, though.
It was, but
brought up, but it's not going to play into how he plays or how Boston plays him. So,
but you don't think it's going to play into how Boston perceives him coming in?
It doesn't matter how the crowd perceives, but they're not guarding him. You know what I mean? Like, so that don't matter. Like, you're a professional. You're going to get booed on the road. You might get booed a little bit harder, but you're going to get booed. You're going to get, the 4-letter word bombs. You're going to get those. So, I mean, as an NBA player, especially one that's been in the league as long as Kyrie, you know this.
And will people be watching him? Because it seems like every time he goes to Boston, he gets into it with fans. He's flipping people off. He's doing stuff.
Kyrie, before he got to Dallas, I would have agreed with you on it. But Kyrie, since he's been in Dallas, he's a lot more mature. You don't see him in the headlines much for off the court stuff, because his talent on the court has never been in question.
Right.
I mean, nobody's ever, what I'm saying? As much as I hate the way he left Boston, he's a great player. I said that coming in. I said, if we rank all the players that are in the NBA Finals, it's you can argue Kyrie and Luka as 1 and 2, with Luka being 1, Kyrie being 2. I said, you know what I mean? I'm not taking anything away from him.
Yeah, you're not taking anything away from him. Anyway, because we can go on like that forever. We having technical difficulties in the Texas side. How do you think that Boston can get over the game 2 that they can't win game 2 thing that's been going on these playoffs?
They beat the Pacers in game 2.
Barely.
Barely?
Did they sweep the Pacers?
Yes.
It was so long ago. I can't even remember. It's so long ago.
Last week he said it was so long ago.
It was so long ago. It was like, what, 2 weeks ago?
It was literally last week.
No, the Dallas game was last week.
The sweep. Go ahead.
It was a while ago, man. And in sports, 2 weeks in sports is a lifetime, and it's forever. So, but
yeah, they won by 16 in game 2 against the Pacers.
So yeah, barely. God,
how was that barely?
I'm trying to take away from what I was saying. Huh? So while we waiting on Amir to get back, who you have winning this series? Well, I know who you have winning. How many games?
I got Celtics in 7.
All right, Celtics in 7. That's respectable. That's respectable. Well, you know who I have winning. I'm gonna take him in 6.
Who?
Dallas. I'm gonna take Dallas in 6. Is a lot of people out there saying that they like Dallas in 5, but then there's some people saying, oh, they want to see Kyrie win it in Boston and stuff like that. I don't care about all that. I just see him going in 6 because somebody go get tired, and I don't think that they want to go 7 games. So I just think Dallas in 6. It's gonna be a tough series, regardless. Either way it goes, the series is gonna be real tough, and that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to a good series. I don't want to see anybody get injured because injuries are never fun, and you and I were both athletes, so we understand how that goes. We don't want to see nobody get injured except for like Dylan Brooks and stuff like that because he's trash and nobody likes him. But
I don't wish injury on anybody.
I don't wish injury on anybody. I just don't. I don't want him to win anything ever. I would like to see the entire team win except for him, and I stand by that. Dylan Brooks. Yep. I saw something come out the other day, said the Pelicans should put together a package to send to Houston with Brandon Ingram going to Houston and the Pelicans getting back the number 3 pick, Dylan Brooks, and a couple other people. I was like, do not send Dylan Brooks.
You love that. You love that.
Do not send Dylan Brooks to New Orleans.
You love that.
No, I would not.
Yeah.
I would not. I would become a Celtics fan.
You're an undercover Dylan Brooks fan.
If I saw Dylan Brooks on the street right now, I would probably punch him in the face. No, because he got more money than me, so he could afford to get out of jail. I'm not doing this to myself. He got more money, so I'm not putting myself like that. But so Amir talked about it earlier, right? He was talking about the Pelicans trying to get rid of Brandon Ingram, which I get it. They can't afford to pay him. So if you can't afford to pay, you gotta kind of move on, right? The person that I would start with would be CJ McCollum, though. In my opinion.
But who's gonna pay for CJ McCollum?
You would have to package him with somebody else, but you definitely need to get a point guard in there. Now I know the Cleveland Cavaliers have flirted with the possibility of taking McCollum, but they would need to. They would want Brandon Ingram in exchange for Jared Allen and possibly Garland. And the Pelicans would have to throw in a draft pick.
Anything that makes them, if anything, that makes them weaker. The not the Pelicans,
the Cavs.
It makes them weaker because you're essentially swapping out Darius Garland for CJ McCollum, who has, and I haven't watched CJ McCollum's game personally in a while, but I've never known him to be very athletic or very good on defense.
CJ McCollum is not a defensive player. He shoots threes sometimes. He's streaky, and I don't know why the Pelicans decided to put him at point guard, but he's not a point guard.
So all you're doing is you've admitted that the Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland backcourt doesn't work. All you've done is swap him out for CJ McCollum, which makes it weaker.
Right, and they've been talking about it all off season that they were going to split them up either way. So one or both of them are going to be gone from Cleveland next year. They're not going to have one or both of those players.
Yeah, I understand that, but you don't ship Garland out and bring CJ McCollum in to replace him, though. You're downgrade.
Yeah, I don't know what
defense. Garland, he's streaky too as the shooter. But yeah, I don't get that one.
Yeah, so I
Amir Winning Field, everybody.
woo.
I got
Welcome
Dallas.
back to
I got Dallas at 6.
there you
Wait.
go.
What were we talking about?
We was talking about possible trades because you had brought up the Brandon Ingram thing. We was talking about that until you came back on. We knew you was coming. We did make our picks. Flex said Boston in 7. I said Dallas in 6.
Yeah, I don't think Dallas beats Boston in Boston game 7. So they have if they're going to close it out, it has to be game 6. Now, I would also add that Drake bet on Dallas, so Boston's winning in 5.
Drake bet on Dallas. Oh, it's gonna be a sweep then. It's gonna be a sweep.
Oilers too, so the Panthers are gonna win the Stanley Cup.
So
it's gonna be a sweep. Well, we get it now. Okay, so everybody put your money on Boston because Drake just did that. Okay,
he bet 550,000 on Dallas. So
did Mattress Mac make a bet?
No, he only bets on Houston.
Yeah,
he only bets on his team or his teams when they make
team.
Yeah. So
no, so he would have bet on the Rockets.
He would have. Not sure why. But hey, speaking of the Rockets, though, I saw a trade today. The Houston is looking for Brandon Ingram.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, I was trying to get on, but I was trying to listen to the show, but I couldn't even.
Say your piece. Say your piece about it.
No, I would just trying to throw that out to the universe. Obviously, Houston wanted to do a Dylan Brooks. He's gonna be part of that trade. So Dylan Brooks to New Orleans.
Yeah, about that too. I thought he's gonna be happy. That's gonna be his new best
player. No. I told Fleck if that happened, I would become a Celtics fan.
No,
why can't you just root for the Lakers like I was doing?
Yeah, just send your other 50% over to the Lakers.
I'm. You know what? I might. Pelicans do that. If they get Dylan Brooks, I'm gonna just be solely for the Lakers. The Lakers have won the custody battle.
Speaking of the Lakers, there you go, Amir.
Look at that. Look at that folded out.
They're keeping their pick. They're not trading out in hopes that Bronny falls to 17.
They got a second round grade on him. The only reason he would go first round is if the team's trying to kiss LeBron's butt.
Well, Phoenix, he just had a workout today with Phoenix, and they boosted his.
They said that workout with Phoenix was phenomenal. So,
yeah, all reports saying help.
LeBron's not going to Phoenix.
You never know.
He would have to go play on the veterans minimum because they don't have no money.
They don't have the money to pay LeBron.
He's not going to turn down $51 million for 2.
It'll be 5, but
he's going to turn down 51 for 5
to play with his son. You never know. You know, both his kids will be over there, Bronny and KD.
That think you stupid. That would not be a good business decision.
Right, I'm not saying it was smart. I'm just saying saying how it went as far as the workout today.
He definitely get a whole bunch of people traded.
For sure. Bradley Beal will be the first one.
He'll be there at 17 or 22. Only because none of these other
he's not gonna be a lottery pick.
He's not a NBA ready prospect. But when you package him with his dad, which is, the thinking that that's what may happen, then you can see a Lakers taking him at 17. Nepotism at its finest.
Speaking of the Lakers,
that's why I looked first time.
Danny Hurley, they're going full force. I guess they're pivoting from JJ Redick, who, as of yesterday, it was JJ Redick's job. Now it's like, yeah, we don't want JJ. We want the guy from Connecticut.
And that's what I want to know. What happened there? Because
first off,
it was like a lot that JJ was.
Because that was LeBron's choice. It wasn't the Lakers' choice. The Lakers don't want JJ Redick. Nobody wants JJ Redick.
And they was looking at it like y'all got a podcast together. Y'all was on the podcast very publicly bashing Darvin Ham together. So if we bring him in, we're gonna look like some real fools because now it's basically proven to what everybody's already been saying is that LeBron runs the Lakers.
Not even that. I think that they're flirting with Dan Hurley, which leads credence to the fact that they might take Bronny at 17 because Dan Hurley has proved, that he can work with the younger guys. I think the Dan Hurley hire will be for life after LeBron. I don't think it would be necessarily for this year or next because he's gonna have that Lakers franchise is there's nothing there outside of Bron and AD for the most part.
So if the Lakers take Bronny and AD retires after one, or not AD, and LeBron retires after one season, what happens with Bronny then?
He'll still be there. That's why they hire Hurley. Hurley's gonna develop him, I think. He'll get development time under Hurley, or he'll be in the G League.
That's true. I have heard rumblings and rumors that the Lakers are putting Anthony Davis on the trade block, even though they have him in on the coach's pick. So,
well, I think this is going to be one of the most openest off seasons in the history of the NBA, meaning everybody's on the market and nobody moves. So it's going to be like every day is going to be like, how about this trade? Have you heard about this one? The Knicks is moving Randall, blah. Sixers is moving everybody but Embiid and Maxey. Phoenix is moving everybody but KD. Lakers is moving
anybody.
What I'm saying is everybody is potentially on the move. Trae Young going to San Antonio. San Antonio trading both the 2 picks to move up to 1 to pick the guy from France to move Mbayama. Like this year is going to be the most crazy type of off season where a lot is happening and nothing happens. Just my opinion.
Yeah, it's gonna be a real crazy offseason. I'm here for it. Let's go. Do what y'all need to do. Just don't bring Dylan Brooks to New Orleans.
Do you think Brian goes back to the Lakers?
I think the draft is going to say a lot.
Right.
I think it's possible. I say 60-40 he stays, but that 40% is strong.
But right now he has a player option right now. This year is a player option for him. He opted out.
Yeah, he already opted out. He's a free agent.
No. He hasn't opted out yet. He has until the 29th to decide.
Well, his agent said he's opting out.
Yeah, his agent said that on a podcast that he was a free agent. He hadn't said that he had opted out. He referred to LeBron as a free agent. So while it may be that it will come before the 29th, it hasn't been officially said yet. It hasn't been in official capacity.
Where's the draft?
The draft is the 27th, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. So draft,
right?
Free agent is going to happen. If the Lakers draft Bronny, then obviously he stays immediately. But I think he's going to test that market. LeBron will test that market.
The 26th and the 27th.
I believe a team is going to give him Ohtani type money for 2 seasons. You probably going to see $100 million a year for LeBron.
They can't.
I don't think
structure. They can't just throw numbers at him. He can only sign for so much.
They can defer. They can do all. They're going to find a way.
Not in the NBA, they can't.
The Orlando Magic will find a way to spend that Disney money on LeBron.
You go have Oklahoma City trade all 87 of their picks for LeBron James.
And I'm also going to add on to this before we move on. The salary cap is going to go up. The TV contract has gone tremendously up with ESPN, Amazon being involved, and NBC.
Yeah, but they still. I mean, they still the NBA. Their contracts, they're so weirdly, constructed. Like you can only pay them this much because they're this age, and they can only get this many years. Like it's weirdly constructed like that.
And I agree with you. But like I said, this season is going to be what is Wojnarowski said today, kind of off season. What did Windhurst say today? Why are we watching NBA Live when nothing's happening, but we're still watching?
Nothing's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the Donovan Mitchell domino is going to be the first thing.
There you go. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal.
That'll be the first. Because we know that LeBron's probably not going to make his decision, like you said, until after the draft, see what happens with Bronny. But I think outside of that, I think the Donovan Mitchell domino is going to be the first of all. Is Cleveland going to trade him? Are they going to re-sign him? I think that's going to be the first domino to fall.
and very may well be. When does the free agent season starts per se?
I think 2 days after the finals were over, I think.
Is it? I thought it was July 1st.
Go ahead. I mean, that might be right too.
Yeah, but yeah, I can see that Donovan Mitchell thing being one of the first dominoes. I can also see something happening with Brandon Ingram, because they've already come out and said that they're not giving him max money. So
June 30th.
June 30th. I was
Creation.
close. I was real close. That's pretty good.
So pretty
But
much.
yeah, I don't.
So
Draft-
free agency is pretty much on LeBron time too.
Yep. Draft LeBron free agency in 3 days.
Right.
And the NBA draft is moving in 2 days, I heard, or something.
Man, yes.
I don't know why.
I don't understand. The second round, nobody watches.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't watch the NBA draft most times past like the first 5 picks. After
Nobody watches it past the first 13.
The lottery,
After pick 5, I don't, because they start naming players you never heard of.
Yeah, you getting G League players, you getting Europe players.
In the rough at the time for most fans, we don't know who this 18-year-old Frenchman is, not Wemby, but
His brother.
We don't know who that person is. We follow sports, but we don't follow it that closely.
Well, we are going to continue, and we're going to follow basketball, but for these next few weeks or months, it might be on the flip side where the women are making all the noise. We discussed. I'll put it out there. We were one of few who gave credit where credit was due when it came to the college and March Madness. Like, it had more hype than the men's March Madness. The SEC between LSU and South Carolina was a big deal, and we were watching that the conference championships. That's where it pretty much started. And obviously the hoopla that is Caitlin Clark. A lot of people are hating. A lot of people are visually upset that all eyes are on Caitlin Clark versus everybody else.
Yeah.
Is that fair? Is that foul? Is it somewhere in the middle? Where are we with the Caitlin Clark versus the WNBA?
I don't like that it's Caitlin Clark versus WNBA. I understand why it is her against the WNBA, because all the eyes are on her, and so all the other women are kind of upset, and rightfully so, because they've been there, they've been laying the groundwork, and now all of a sudden Caitlin Clark comes, and now it's Caitlin Clark, and she's the reason why we got all, that's the only thing that everybody's talking about. The Indiana Fever is the only team that's getting all, they have what, the same amount of televised games as the champions, the defending champions. They just had the number 1 pick. They're the worst team in the league. They're still technically the worst team in the league because they won 2 games, and they have they're tied for the most televised games. So I can understand why these ladies are mad. Now, I'm not gonna say that they should be out there tackling Caitlin Clark like what's her name did. That was just completely ridiculous. You ain't got to come and shoulder check the lady. She just standing there. But there is a Caitlin Clark effect that's going on, huh?
She flopped.
She did flop. Caitlin Clark is very much known for flopping. She's a perfect encapsulation and mixture of Steph Curry and LeBron James, because she will shoot the ball from half court, but she will still flop. She'll shoot it from half court and then jump to the bench and act like somebody hit her. But I see where all the vitriol is coming from. If I'm in the league and I'm putting it all on the line and I'm blood, sweat, and tears to make sure stuff happens.
All the what?
Vitriol. That means anger towards and stuff like that. You learn a thing or two when you watch the All Sports Matter All Sports Matter show, folks. Just pay attention and we will give y'all some things. But I can see where it comes from.
Just chimed in or just tuned in. We're talking about the hate towards Caitlin Clark. Just want to throw that out there so nobody is really confused about what is being said. JB, continue. Yeah, I just have to throw that out there for the
give them the disclaimer. Yeah, I can see where it comes from.
I'm out of big words too, and I was like, I never drank that before.
You never drank the vitriol?
Yeah, I don't know what we were talking about.
From a
But
business standpoint, I understand what the league is doing with Caitlin Clark. You know, the more her name is thrown out there, the better it is for putting eyes on the product. So I understand that. What I don't understand, or what I don't necessarily agree with, is the fact that they're making it seem like it's Caitlin Clark and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, I mean the media, because that's a media thing. It's Caitlin Clark and everybody else. That's a media-driven agenda.
right.
There are other, you know what I'm saying, ladies, Aja Wilson, what she did last night that no other WNBA player has done, a 30-point game, 10 rebounds, 5 steals. No WNBA player has ever done that. So there are definitely other players, and I think with the increasing, with the eyes that this rookie class, because I'm not even going to just say Caitlin Clark, but this rookie class has really put more eyes on the product based on what they did in college, and you want to see if they can bring it to the WNBA. Caitlin Clark is going to be fine. It's gonna get into its happy medium. She's going to learn to stop flopping, learn to quit taking everything so sensitively. That word just whooped my butt.
Sensitively.
But is she
I
doing
said
it?
it the way I want to say it.
Hold on, I'm gonna go right back to you though. But is she doing it? Is she speaking out about the abuse she's getting? Because I'm gonna flip her. She hasn't.
She's not.
No. I never said that she was in the media saying anything. I was talking about how she flops on the court. She's the one on the court that throws a rock and then tries to hide her hand, because
Right. She does.
Where, you know, she's elbowing people too.
She learned from the Chris Paul School of Point Guarding. But and to piggyback on your point, Fleck, you know, I don't think it's right that the media has put this on her shoulders and is trying to make her the face of the WNBA as a rookie.
Yeah,
Because that's what I said, to piggyback on your point. I don't think that. I also don't think that that's right. You have people that's been there and that should be the face of the WNBA, and they've been building it up, and now all of a sudden she comes in and it's the Caitlin Clark show. Is all the media.
But and the league with given the Fever 11 games, I think, in like 29 days, and then the rest of the season they own the other 100 days of the season they only have like 30 or something like that.
Yeah, they have 20. They have 22.
They are banking on the Caitlin Clark hype. Like, I understand from a business standpoint exactly what they're doing.
Right.
And from a business standpoint, if it was me and you know, her face has been the face of college basketball for the last 4 years, basically, yeah, I'm gonna throw that at you as much as I can, because that's what's putting eyes on my product.
Right.
You got the Angel Reeses that are playing, Kia Jackson in Los Angeles for the Sparks, that are Cameron Brink for the Sparks. They're playing pretty good. It's putting more eyes on the product. Like, before the season, I didn't know who Kia Jackson was.
Right. And they're playing pretty good, but they're not getting nearly as much airtime as Caitlin Clark. So there's a lot of people who still don't know those names.
Again, from a business standpoint, I totally exactly. And what you were just about to say, the casual fan don't know none of those names.
Right.
So if you're trying to bring in the casual fan, aren't you going to give them something that they know?
Yeah, you give them something that they know, but you still want to boost everybody else up too. And it's like you said, and it goes back to what you said, is from a business standpoint, they're gonna get those eyes on. So,
but they are though. You know what I'm saying? I've seen more WNBA games this year so far than I've seen previously. Period.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
I will start by saying I still haven't seen a game. I'm gonna stay true to who I am.
So sad.
Don't get me wrong. I watched the highlights. I follow pretty much the scores while they're playing. I do that. It's not an Indiana Fever thing. I follow how New York Liberty is playing because I've been playing New York Liberty since the beginning. Go ahead.
I'll say this then. before this season, were you following the WNBA as closely as you are now?
Who?
Amir.
Me? No.
Yeah, Amir.
I did just as much as I would hockey. With that being said, not to the playoffs.
Right.
So I followed.
This year you've been following it, right?
Right. I followed WNBA in the playoffs. I followed hockey in the play.
But that's what I'm saying though. Up until this season, the product hasn't had as many eyes on it as it has.
Eyes, no. So I'm gonna stir it up just a little bit. I think it's a race matter. I'm gonna stir it just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm not picking one side or the other. What I'm saying is
I don't know if no.
I am.
No.
I am.
I don't want to say that it's a race. Go ahead and get your point out. I don't
Why I want to say it is because I follow Breonna Stewart coming out of Connecticut. I follow Sabrina Ionescu coming out of Oregon. I've seen the great whites basketball player, female basketball player from before, the Sue Birds, the Diana Taurasi's. I know them. I followed them, right? But you mentioned it in your rebuttal as far as nobody was watching until Caitlin Clark these last 4 years, where she somewhat, became a phenomenon. Really, the last 2 years, but it changed the eyes of many people. Why? Because right before that, is anybody talking about Juju Watkins and the breakout season she had last year?
Yeah,
not many, because everybody still believes Caitlin Clark is the great white hope.
But see,
right.
The reason I don't agree with that is because of the names that you named before. The casual fan are the ones that are coming in that don't know the history of the league. Like, we know the history of the league, so that's why I said, for me, I find it hard to try. I find it hard to make it a race issue because I don't know. I find out if Caitlin Clark was black and she was doing what she was doing, I think it's a ego thing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're supposed to be the best. I'm going to come at you and see what the hype is about.
So with that being said,
Gucci will come in when she's eligible, and I mean, she's a little bit bigger than Caitlin Clark, so they may not try to bully her as much as they do Caitlin Clark.
Now you just said something, and I wasn't necessarily finished with my point. What I do want to add, and you just hit it. The African American side is watching and hate. And watch her fail. I'm telling you this. I'm not talking about the casual fan. I'm talking about why is she being more recognized than AJ Wilson.
And let me jump in on that one, and because I've heard people talk about this over the last 2 years, because you had 1 year LSU win the championship, and they played Caitlin Clark, and Caitlin Clark was getting all the praise. She was getting all the press. The next year, South Carolina beats Caitlin Clark, and Caitlin Clark and her team goes Saturday Night Live, and you don't hear anything about the national champions, right? And I've seen this argument going in different places on social media and stuff, like, well, exactly. She hasn't won anything. She hasn't won a championship. She hasn't done anything. But why is she getting all the praise, and the people who actually won, they're not getting anything? Right?
You have all of these new eyes that don't know these other players. All they know is Caitlin Clark.
Right.
But
that's what it boils down to.
You're not wrong. I'm telling you, we're all right in the sense, like, we're not speaking for ourselves. We follow the sport. We know what's going on. We're not saying we're speaking for the women. We're not saying we're WNBA fans. We are sports enthusiasts. We are media personalities. We follow, so we know what's going on. I'm just telling you the points that are out there, and it's exactly what's going on. Like, just for example, you got LeBron fans and LeBron haters. It's almost dead center 50-50 when it comes to this world. And that's what I'm saying when it comes to Caitlin Clark. It's not Caitlin herself. It's her painted. People are chosen a side.
No, it's the media putting her on the pedestal for the last 4 years. I mean, rightfully the last 5 because.
But the media is not selling out.
High school.
Media is not selling out Iowa University. The media is not selling out.
Right, because Iowa knows who Caitlin Clark is. They know how special of a talent they have.
Didn't they put the game on a Navy aircraft?
Again, Caitlin Clark, for better, for worse, for right, for wrong, she has been the face of women's basketball.
Right. No, I agree with you. I'm agreeing with you.
So to the casual fan, which is the only point I'm trying to make here, the casual fan is the ones that are putting more eyes on the product. People that probably have never paid attention to a WNBA game before are paying attention because of Caitlin Clark. That's the name that they know. They don't know a Angel Wilson right now. They don't know a Breonna Stewart. They don't know a Diana Taurasi, even though they should know these names. They don't know these people. You know what I mean? So that casual fan knows Caitlin Clark. So if I'm running ESPN, ABC, whatever, and I know that this face is the one that's going to bring in the people who may not necessarily. I already got you in gym. I know y'all watching the product. I already got y'all. I want to bring in, the people that haven't tuned into a WNBA game ever. I want to get them faces. How do I get them in? I don't get them in by announcing Angel Wilson as my lead-in. Angel, who is that? You know what I'm saying?
Then she went back-to-back titles.
No, I agree. I'm not talking as us. I'm talking as this casual fan that's never seen a WNBA game before. He don't know who Angel Wilson is. But he don't know Las Vegas had a team.
But you still.
Sorry, I want to say this really quick.
Go ahead.
I would go one further when it comes to the Las Vegas Aces. People know Kelsey Plum before they know Asia Wilson.
Right. And why do they know Kelsey
Plum?
Plum?
Because social media.
No. Yeah. I'm telling you why they know Kelsey Plum. Because they followed Caitlin Clark when she was trying to break that record. And they kept it.
No. Everybody knows Kelsey Plum as the girl that threw that T-shirt from one side of the court to the stands and followed her on social media. Who's this girl? She was a freshman. Girl. Well, that's when I first met Kelsey Plum, and now they know her for Darren Waller's on. So social media was like, oh, she's a basketball player. Cool. She got married to Darren Waller. Cool. Social media. Then she became a popular player. I'm telling you, we just live in a different time where people get popular for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
We're not trying to take away from their popularity. We're just saying, why the hype? Why the hype like this anyway? That's all. We just live in a different time.
To get the casual fan. That's all.
So why not go after the fans who made it a record-breaking viewing of the national championship, the people who were there to watching South Carolina just as much as watching Caitlin Clark? You can appeal to those people too, because this year was a record-breaking year in women's NCAA. But you only appealing to her, to the people who watched her.
I'm going to tell you what. Name one player, not you, Amir. Name one player from South Carolina.
Cardoza.
And where did she go in the draft?
To the Sky.
What number? What number?
She went either 11 or 13, I want to say.
And that's exactly why Caitlin Clark
didn't go 4. She went after Angel Reese. Angel Reese went 7 and she went 4.
Yeah, Angel Reese went 7.
7, yeah. Nah, it don't matter.
But
still.
It was Caitlin Clark
went, right?
Yeah. And then the Sparks had
Caitlin Clark went, right?
Everybody know what Caitlin Clark went, because the Fever are the worst team in the league.
Thank you for proving my point, sir.
And they still the worst team in the league, though. So what did that popularity do?
You know what I find hilarious about all of that? The previous number 1 pick came out of South Carolina, was the rookie of the year,
Mhm.
and nobody's talking about Aaliyah other than the layup that she blew because Caitlin Clark passed her to win the game, and she blew it. And that's the only time anybody's talking about Aaliyah Boston this year. Just talking about this year. That's crazy to me.
So Indiana go have 3 number 1 picks in a row.
It's possible.
It's very
Hey,
possible.
Futures.
But you know, if I'm being honest, I'm a New York Liberty fan. I had been since Rebecca Lobo way back in the 2000s. I've been a fan of WNBA. Have I watched games all the time? No. Have I watched games? Yes. With that being said, Breanna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, and they got another short point guard, white girl. She can ball too. I forgot her name. Either way, they're ballers. Liberty got ballers, but is anybody beating Las Vegas Aces? What Asia Wilson is doing right now in Las Vegas?
No.
She should have been
3-peat.
last year.
3-peat happening.
She balled.
3-peat is loading up right now. I'm telling you,
It's the same what they're doing, but nobody's talking about it.
Right.
Nobody's talking about it. And
I'm just happy that is more eyes on women's basketball, and I hope that turns into more money and more pay for them because they're severely underpaid.
I'm pretty sure it's getting there because who else is going to pay for these private jets they're taking now? So, which they still don't have one for every team. They're just picking and choosing who gets the flight today. You might not get the flight tomorrow, but we can get you there today. So I'm still gonna let them figure it out. WNBA, this is new for them. They're still trying to hey, either way, they paid $25 million for 5 jets.
They got
tomorrow.
They got Darren Wallace new single playing on every jet.
Why do you keep talking about that?
We still don't know if he's retiring since we want to transition a little bit before we get out of here.
Do we care?
It's so funny.
He is so far removed from his great days that it's like, dude,
right.
It's just so funny.
The only thing I want to bring up the NFL before we get out of here, we're almost past our time before the NBA finals start. The only NFL news that has came out today, Anthony Richardson has some shoulder issues and his throwing shoulder. That came out today.
Shoulder soreness, yeah.
Is that a big deal considering he just had surgery on it?
To be determined, because we don't know the extent of the issues right now. So to be determined.
And I'm sure that
soreness,
I'm sure that the soreness he just had surgery, so the soreness is gonna come because he hasn't really done anything that severe since he had the surgery and everything. He went through rehab and stuff like that, but he hasn't been at practice or anything like that since. So it's to be expected.
I just lied. That is not the only news in the NFL. Justin Jefferson got paid.
Yes,
he got paid. I like them. I like them all white unis too. Them winter uniforms is nasty.
That man got paid. I don't know how that slipped in my mind. 114,
140,
140,
140 million.
4 years, 140. Either man got paid.
Right.
It slipped my mind because I didn't want to think about it because I didn't want to think about how much the 49ers are not paying Brandon Ayuk right now.
He gets $89 million at signing. That is crazy.
My question: who gets paid next? And obviously, right? Nobody gets paid more than Justin Jefferson. We talking about CeeDee Lamb. We talking about Brandon Ayuk. We talking about Jamar Chase.
It's gonna get
and T. Higgins. Nobody's gonna get paid more than him.
Right? T. Higgins not getting paid.
Nobody's gonna get more than that, right? We agree to that.
No. CeeDee Lamb or Jamar might. It's gonna be one of those things where like the quarterbacks, they kept resetting it. It might be he's making $35 million a year right now. It might be the next guy gets 36.
No. They kept resetting because quarterback was just a little bit better than the last guy. CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Ayuk, Higgins, those guys are not better than
Ayuk and Higgins are in that tier, but Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb,
Jamar Chase will be up there. Ayuk will probably be somewhere around 30.
Than Justin Jefferson.
Brandon Ayuk will be somewhere between 28 and 30. CeeDee Lamb,
he's gonna reset it. Whoever signs next between CeeDee Lamb and Jamar Chase, they're gonna reset it again, and then that third one's gonna top that one. So it might be like Justin Jefferson right now is making $35 million a year. CeeDee Lamb might get $35.5 a year, and then you're gonna see Jamar Chase get 36. They're gonna get paid.
I see it happening with you. Yes, I agree. What I'm saying is, I don't think they deserve to reset it.
Yes.
I'm saying,
I don't think.
I don't think skill wise these guys are better than Justin Jefferson. Skill wise,
CeeDee Lamb
you cannot deny the production.
Right, you can't, and it's one of those
catches last year for CeeDee Lamb.
It's one of those things to where whoever signs first gets the least amount because the others are gonna come above.
I guarantee you, CeeDee Lamb will come in just above Justin Jefferson. Only because that's the type of personality that CeeDee Lamb has.
He petty.
Right, exactly. We saw that on his draft night when the girl grabbed his phone and he grabbed it back real quick.
But why not just go through this out there? Why not get 120 completely guaranteed?
Huh?
Why not get 120 completely guaranteed? Is that
the Deshaun Watson screwed that up?
What, are you gonna give me 3 years, 120?
What I'm saying is Jefferson just got 89 mil. No, he got 114 guaranteed out of 140.
He got 111.
111. So why not? So what I'm saying is, when you talk about resetting the market, I'm not saying go above and beyond. We're talking about just doing a little bit better. So why not do lesser total money but more guaranteed?
No, because you want to get paid. You want that sticker. You want that golden sticker that says I'm the best at my position. That's why the quarterback.
They're not. I mean, they're not. They're just not. There's nobody.
But Jim said it though. You signed first. You messed up. You signed first.
Yep.
Now I know what to go tell these guys.
And that's the thing right there.
4 years, 140. Jim's gonna go in there for. Let me get 4 years, 150.
I like back when the NFL told these guys to go ahead and stay at home and we're not paying you or every contract.
Everybody was just waiting for that first domino to fall, and now it's about to be like, oh, you did that, I'm gonna do this.
You saw it at the quarterback position just a couple of years ago, where none of the guys wanted to be the first one to sign, and then Lamar signed. And you saw as soon as Lamar signed, you had Burrow, Herbert, all of them came right behind, and they reset the market every time. Even if it was only by $500,000, they reset the market every time.
That's why the Christian McCaffrey thing happened, so they can clear up some cap space to try to get Brandon Ayuk signed.
No, they spent the money on Juwan Jennings and the backup tight end.
They had already had them signed. They have 32. They have 32 million in cap space right now.
That happened after they extended McCaffrey.
Juwan Jennings happened a week before McCaffrey.
The other wide receiver, who else?
Logan, what you call it?
They signed Logan Thomas after. They signed Thomas, wide receiver.
No, they just signed McCaffrey this week.
McCaffrey just signed.
McCaffrey already happened.
No, McCaffrey happened this week. McCaffrey happened 2 days ago.
McCaffrey was not this week.
Yeah, McCaffrey happened 2 days ago.
You were not on vacation when McCaffrey signed.
That happened 2 days ago.
Yeah, it just happened.
I think that
happened after Logan Thomas and after Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings happened at least a week ago.
I don't know. I don't like it either way. Ayuk is gone.
Nah, they cleared up enough money to sign him to $28 million a year. They trying to work a number between 28 and 30 million a year.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I have heard that they are still entertaining rumors for Deebo Samuels, though. They're still entertaining calls.
So you broke the news Tuesday for CMC.
I did.
Yes, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I guess it's the sun, man. I got sun poisoning.
That's the receipts right there.
I got sun poisoning. I don't really. Either way, I'm pretty sure I said it to make fun of Brandon Ayuk being gone for the 49ers. Either way.
Just hater.
I'm not a hater.
Just hating, man.
If they wanted them, they spent all the money on everybody else. Why not just use the money on Ayuk?
Because it's not real money.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not.
Just want to throw it out there.
He'll be signed. They do the same thing every year. They did it with Deebo, with Bosa, with Kittle. They go sign him.
Great. I got liquid on my phone. Thanks a lot, AJ.
Hey, Jizzle, my dude. Well,
either way, Baseball season winding down. People betting on themselves and betting on the teams and betting on the games and betting they asses out of the Major League Baseball.
Right.
Idiotos.
Four players have been suspended. 1 for good, 3 for a season. Yeah. But Shohei Ohtani obviously has been cleared officially as of yesterday because he had an interpreter. Everybody else didn't. So, sorry, Pete Rose.
You know,
I don't really know what to say.
Mid-season classic coming up. We'll talk about that when it comes up.
Mid-season classic is the All-Star game, by the way. But Phillies and Mets are going overseas to England, playing a 2-game series this weekend. Best team in baseball right now. That's all I'm gonna say, because the best team in the East, well, they're both in the East. It's either Philadelphia or the Yankees right now. I'm not sure they'll keep that pace. Both teams got quite possibly the best starting pitching in the league. So Braves is hitting that injury bug, and the Mets have hit that retarded bug. So there's that.
Beat up bad.
But this is normally the time when the Braves hit the injury bug, but they get over it toward the end of the season when it matters. So you want to hit it early instead of late.
They're missing pieces for the year and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Strider and Acuna both young for the year.
Acuna definitely
that does suck.
He was playing like crap to be honest with you, but
but the longer he's there, the more he'll heat up. I'd rather have him in the lineup trying to hit than not in the lineup at all.
That does indeed suck.
This weekend, I believe, in New York. That's gonna be interesting. I'm pretty sure the sales will outpace Caitlin Clark. Just gonna throw that out there. But either way, that's the All Sports Matters podcast. What? I'm just speaking truth.
I got a trivia question.
You got a question?
Yeah. When Rob said he wasn't gonna be here, I had to find something. There's one franchise, NFL. There's one franchise that has never had a 1,500-yard rusher. Which franchise is it? Or franchise? This
Tennessee.
Come on, dude. Derrick Henry almost that. Quit trolling.
I'm actually gonna say the Giants.
No, it's not the Giants. The Giants' last 1,500-yard rusher was in 2006. Tiki Barber.
Tiki Barber got 1,500, 15,000, 1,500.
1,500.
I thought it was 13.
1,500 in the season.
I know he's the.
Is it Tampa?
No, Tampa's had one in '84. James Wilder in '84 for the Bucs.
Tecmo Bowl, James Wilder. That's the only reason I know about James Wilder. Tecmo Bowl, James Wilder. Geez, I don't know.
Jim?
I don't know. I want to say Washington, but I feel like they had some. So
Washington? Yeah, Alfred Morris in 2012. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know.
The 1 year wonder. He got paid off that one season. It's like Peyton Hillis did.
He did.
It's the Cincinnati Bengals. They've never had a 1,500-yard rusher.
Damn, Icky ain't go for 1,500.
Dylan didn't go.
He's never had one. The Bills, their last one was the late great O.J. Simpson in 1976.
Man, not even Thurman Thomas. I thought Thurman Thomas would
Otis Anderson was the last one for the Cardinals in '79. So those are the older ones. And Walter Payton in '85 for the Bears. But those are the oldest. But Cincinnati has never had a 1,500-yard rusher.
Well, there you go.
I figured I'd find something since
Corey Dillon.
I
would have thought Corey Dillon would have.
Man. I told y'all, you learn something when you tune in. You learn things. Well, I think we still. I think you still. Vitriol. I'm telling you, that's a word. You got to use it. Put it in your everyday vocabulary, man.
I'm about to go put some vitriol in my cup.
Vitriol in the cup. I think we still have a radio show that comes on Sundays. Y'all check us out. What the hell?
Yeah, I see you didn't put your little banner on.
I forgot. Don't worry about it. I think it's still there. Every Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on 595radio.com. And with that, good fellas, I appreciate everybody that joined us on this evening. We are the All Sports Matter Show. I'm your boy JB. I got Mr. Thursday Night Amir Shiraz and Just Fleck with me. And like we always say, some people like football, basketball, and baseball, while others like hockey, soccer, and WNBA. But right here, All Sports Matter.
Peace out.